My fellow Jamaicans, today we join together in solemn reflection and in powerful celebration as we observe Emancipation Day 2025, a sacred day in our nation's history, when we honor the courage, resistance, and unyielding spirit of those who came before us and fought for the freedoms that we now enjoy. Our freedom was not handed down by decree. Emancipation was the culmination of generations of struggle and sacrifice by our leaders and those who supported their great work. From Nani to Taki to Sam Sharp, they each realized, in the words of Nelson Mandela, that after climbing a great hill, one only finds that there are many more hills to climb. The road to freedom was long and hard, but they never gave up. And then on August the 1st, 1834, the shackles of slavery were historically broken. And as we honor and celebrate our ancestors who never gave up the struggle for freedom, we recognize this day as representing the triumph of good over evil. Having claimed our freedom, it is a solemn duty of successive generations of Jamaicans to protect it and carry it forward through the ages. From the post-emancipation fires of the Morant Bay Rebellion, to the rise of the Garvey movement, to the great labor upheavals of 1938, through to our political independence in 1962, the Jamaican spirit has always demanded more than just survival. It has demanded dignity, equality, justice, and opportunity for all. Today, we stand on the shoulders of our heroes, named and unnamed, who endured unspeakable suffering, whose dreams of liberty helped to shape the very foundation of our democracy and our identity as a people. Emancipation is not only a historic event, it is a living mandate that calls each of us to examine whether we have truly broken the chains of mental slavery, systemic injustice, and economic exclusion. It challenges us to confront inequality, promote inclusion, and support economic and social justice for all Jamaicans. We must continue to work towards an economy that empowers our people, education that opens doors for all, and a society rooted in fairness and respect. Are we truly emancipated when the system deprives so many of our youth of the chance to achieve their potential? And can we say we are free when the gap between the powerful and the powerless continues to widen? To answer these questions with positive change, we must place social justice, equity, and empowerment at the center of our mission. Our commitment to freedom requires to invest in opportunity. Opportunity for all to access quality education. Opportunity for all to benefit from affordable health care. Opportunity to own a piece of the land we call home. Opportunity to move up from poverty and build intergenerational wealth. Opportunity to live with safety, dignity, and pride, no matter what your background or where you were born. As we celebrate this Emancipation Day, we are proud of the resilience of our people, the impact of our music and culture that echoes across the world, and our many achievements despite adversity. Let us be bold and demand that Jamaica fulfills the promise of emancipation for all, not just a few. Let us draw strength from our heritage and find the will to dismantle those structures that still hold too many of our people back. Let us step forward and craft a new chapter, one where freedom means full inclusion and independence means real power in the hands of the people. To every Jamaican, wherever you may be today, I say this: our journey continues as our work is not done. Together, with purpose and unity, we can build a nation that befits the great sacrifice of our ancestors that we celebrate on Emancipation Day. Happy Emancipation Day, Jamaica. One love, and may God bless you all.
Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth in the ways of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful. But his delight is in the law of the Lord, and in his law do we meditate day and night. For we shall be like trees planted by the rivers of water, that bringeth forth our fruit in our season. Our leaves shall not wither, and whatsoever we do shall prosper. Welcome to the Colin Bell Show on Portland Spice TV. We have a big show this morning. Big show. We're going to be joined by Ed Boy shortly. We're going to discuss the affidavit that is out there. Chris Beresford affidavit from the Integrity Commission in the case with the Prime Minister Andrew Holness. And I see a whole heap of people jumping all about. At 9:30, we're going to be talking to the teacher, the real teacher, Senator Damian Crawford. Going to be live this morning. And at about 10 o'clock, Father Base Odyssey will be joining us to talk about that policeman who kick over the man console and the history of sound system in Jamaica. Where is sound system coming from? Where it is now? And where can it go? But before we do all of that, there was a press conference on Thursday. The GLP had a press conference. Said that it's Thursday or Wednesday? Wednesday. Said that they launched their achievement book. Chris Campbell morning. Marcia morning. Zenith morning. Ivan Bailey. Nadine morning. Morning megawatt. Everybody in the chat room. And let me just remind you, only subscribers can participate in the chat room. Members only. So we ask that you subscribe to the channel. It doesn't cost to become a member. Subscribe to the channel. So before I go any further, I want to go to this press conference here because this is serious. Listen to this, people.
Of course. Thank you.
An election was called in the middle of COVID in 2020. With all these achievements, why have Jamaicans not been called to the polls?
I think, I think we have to be careful to not, should I say, assume that the political cycle, which allows a 5-year term, is not, and we allow that 5-year term, that there isn't legitimacy in taking that 5-year term, 5 years of in office. The truth is that we have had elections on average for 4+ years when you look at the general cycle. And in our democracy, the leader of a party and prime minister has the right to call within that period. Once he remains within that period, there should be no question about the legitimacy of the government, or indeed his right so to exercise that legitimate authority. And I consider it a non-issue. I consider it a distraction. Those who make noise about it, call it Andrew, call it. I mean, you can do it as rhetoric. You can do it as playful banter. But the truth is, everybody knows that this is how the democracy works. And a leader also has the right to call it when he thinks it's the right time. And that's the advantage that the ruling party has. So we do not think that it is a relevant issue, to be totally frank. And we are still within the time that is allowed. And as said earlier, Prime Minister Holness, Party Leader Holness will call it within the period when he sees fit. And we are just here to report that the party is ready, and we know that we have done enough to ask the people humbly for another term.
You talked about different segments of the voting population, different issues resonating with them. You'll recall that in February 2016, the Prime Minister in Montego Bay promised a suite of government or governance reforms, fixed election date to follow up on Kimon's question, impeachment, a grand referendum on matters like the CCJ, abortion, etc. Those promises have not been kept. Are you concerned as the chair of the manifesto committee that Jamaicans may find it hard to believe that new promises that you will come with will be kept?
No. That's absolutely. I was just making light. An excellent question. The reality is that we are a listening government, and we're an inquiring government. So, and we're a government that also has prided itself on being agile and responsive to what people need and want. So I must say that having placed the grand referendum in the manifesto, it was something around we had rallied and we felt very convicted about. The issues were, however, perhaps a little more divisive than anticipated, as opposed to areas around which people were coalescing, and that would allow for a sort of a unifying consensus to emerge on issues. And on the matter of fixed election date in particular, and I just make note that there's no other CARICOM country that has it at all. So we would be an anomaly. But the UK that had introduced it in 2011 has since repealed it because they found it unworkable and incompatible with their constitutional traditions, which are the same as ours. I think they repealed it in 2022, as a matter of fact, just finding that circumstances that were anticipated could not have been anticipated, and that the constitutional traditions were far more appropriate to be reasserted. And they had bipartisan support of the parliament to do it with the major parties. And we've looked back at that as well, to look at what they confronted, etc. Because it can't be that because you have written something and you believe in it, that if people are not actually demanding it, what they are more concerned about is the water in their pipes, is about getting a higher path grant, is about getting trained and certified, is about finding a job that they need. And their focus and energy is put behind that, especially when you have 2 years stolen from you by COVID. It's not unthinkable to say, okay, well, how do we adjust this? How do we meet what the majority of people want? Even while we continue to consult and listen, we have a broad-based constitutional reform process underway, which would actually unearth and is unearthing some of the thinking and some of the understanding and some of the interest in some of those issues. And that's moving things along. But do I think, therefore, that not having inserted or passed legislation to impose a fixed election date will undermine trust in our system or in our achievements? Not at all. I think that the majority of Jamaicans will judge us on the fact that we have been delivering on issues and on matters that impact the majority of Jamaicans. And that is the basis on which we will approach the people.
If I could just be sure on the response from the senator, is the GLP still committed to those promises made in 2016, though? The fixed election date, impeachment, the grand referendum, or are you walking back from
grand
that?
Referendum? No. So those matters as placed, and they weren't all in 2016 either. They were in 2011. There were, I think, one or two, maybe one was in 2016. Grand referendum was in 2020 to try to pull some things together. And what we said was we would consult broadly on those issues, not that we would implement them, because they're not settled issues. Even within the party, they're not settled issues, but they're things which we felt were of sufficient importance for us to speak on. They're not settled. They're still not settled. And therefore, I think when we get to that stage of the campaign, it'll be more clear the elements that we will be putting forward.
Can I close? And I think this might have to be the last response before I hand back to the chair, give my other commitments. And I want to thank you all for being here. But just the context, a manifesto is aspirational. It is an intention to achieve, but it involves a process. And I don't think anyone is under any illusion that things always go the way you want it to go. None of us expected 3 years of COVID, 2.5 to 3 years. And that impacted several attempts at achieving fulsomely what we set out to achieve. The discussions about constitutional reform are ongoing. That also will have implications for the types of legislation. The need to be dynamic and to respond to immediate concerns while still strategically planning for longer-term objectives is an ongoing effort. And so I think we have to look in that context as we assess, and we certainly ask the Jamaican people so to do, assess our achievements. What I'm prepared to say without fear or favor, and what the party will argue in the most convincing way, because we are confident and we have the conviction, is that more Jamaicans are better off today in 2025 on a range of programs that have brought them benefits than they were in 2015 when the PNP was in office. I can say so without fear in terms of the National Health Fund, access to health centers, access to training, crime reduction and the fear of crime, the economy that has expanded in terms of jobs. And that, to my mind, and we hope, as we humbly solicit the support of the people, is enough to say if we have done what we have done, then you can have faith in us to continue the work over the next period. And that's the message that we intend to carry to the Jamaican people in the weeks to come. And we are confident that they are sufficiently discerning and that they will make the right choice when that time comes. Thank you very much, and I'll hand back now to Madam Chair.
Yes, sir. No, you hear rubbish. Nowhere else in the Caribbean have a fixed election date. So them never did know that when them promise it. No, my Jamaican people, listeners around the world, welcome to Portland Spice TV. You see when we're telling all the while, so them people are sick and talk pure foolishness. No, see, I'm not joke. Listen one more before I go to Head Boy. Hold on.
The schools in rural Jamaica.
No, not you. Not you yet. Not you. Listen this.
The Water Commission amnesty, which had a special carve-out for our seniors, as well as, of course, I can't read my writing, and I seem to be having a brain fog moment. But the increase of the threshold.
Little while when she talked about the fixed election date, it seems that she was having a brain fog moment. No, you were coming as tell her. Hold on there. No, I want to play it again. Head Boy, listen this.
The Water Commission amnesty, which had a special carve-out for our seniors, as well as, of course, I can't read my writing, and I seem to be having a brain fog moment. But
Thank
the
you very
increase
much.
of the threshold.
Thank you, Kamina. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Head Boy, morning, welcome.
My brother, how are you?
I am okay. Okay. I'm on a rescue Jamaica mission from people who are running the country with constant brain fog, obviously. Now they said it themselves.
Come in and confess something for us, right?
Yes.
We've been hearing Wilfred Rattigan saying that Camina's claim to fame is not necessarily that she's bright. Yeah? And how could you have a brain fog moment when you are the deputy chair of a campaign committee?
No, she's the chairman of the manifesto committee, you know.
Committee, yes, the chairman of the manifesto committee.
She run the manifesto, and basically you hear Tufton telling you that the manifesto is aspirational. So what they're putting in their manifesto is not real. What the PNP will be putting into our manifesto is vision, not aspiration.
We want smart. We want smart manifestos. And what do we mean by smart? It must be specific. It must be measurable. Yeah?
Yes. Must be realistic.
And it must have a time frame.
No, but what kind of rubbish was she saying when she said no other country in the Caribbean have fixed election date? What that mean?
So she's saying that essentially we would be the first, but that's a lie. And let me tell you why.
No,
I
but
can tell that Kamina.
go ahead, Ed boy. Go ahead.
Yeah? In the situation in Guyana, right? Every 5 years, once it touches September, the people of Guyana go to the polls. They have never had an election before the 5 years. Yeah.
But
so even though there's not a fixed election date,
right,
there's an unwritten rule.
Okay,
yeah?
there's a precedent. But
there's a precedent.
But my concern with that is Kamina saying to Jamaicans that we will not lead, we will only follow. So the fact that no other Caribbean country have it, we're not going to be the first. We're not going to lead. We will follow. Hello?
It's typical of the JLP. They don't and understand why this fixed election date become an issue. Because it's been an unfulfilled promise for them for over the last 10 years.
Hold on, there's somebody, Auntie Elaine Brown. Auntie Elaine is saying, Colin, hold on. Can brighten up this. Yeah. Auntie Elaine saying, Colin, I see your idea in Sentan, Reggae Wall of Fame. Just joined the live. Thank you, Auntie Elaine. Well, Reggae Wall of Fame, the Walk of Fame, what we want to build, Auntie Elaine, is a little bit different from all of that. It's a reggae island. An island for reggae music by itself. And them say PNP no have no ideas. Hey. But now we hear, you remember Bobby Montague was begging people to come with ideas. Ed boy, you have been going through Chris Beresford affidavit. Craig Beresford, sorry. Craig Beresford affidavit. Yes. We are here this morning and we want you to give us some of the findings from this affidavit. Tell us a little bit. A lot of us have not read it. I have only received it this morning. And then the fact that you send me a copy, somebody from Canada send me a copy, it coming from all angles this morning. But the truth is, if I had gotten it yesterday, I couldn't read it neither. Yesterday was a public holiday, and I work the hardest on weekends and on public holidays. Those are my full work days. So give us a rundown. Tell us some of the things that you have seen in the affidavit so far.
All right. What I wanted to do first for me, Colin, I sent you a clip, a 2-minute clip.
Yes.
Yeah? Because then that will explain exactly what we're going to discuss now.
All right,
it will make it easier for people to understand. So play the 2-minute clip.
Hold on. So you're talking about that clip. Hold on. Let me send it over to somewhere else where I can play it properly. No, it's on this machine that you're on now, and I don't want to use it while you're on the machine. So
no problem, no problem.
I'm sending it over to another machine where we can play it comfortably. No, not you. So I listened to the clip, and the clip is talking about why Dennis Chung is not fit to be the FID boss, because some of the things that the some of the things that the FID will have to look at is clear. And when Dennis Chung is saying that he sees nothing with what the Prime Minister do. Here we go.
For those who maintain that Dennis Chung is qualified to lead the FID, let me point out a couple obvious red flags that any new financial sector employee could recognize after their first anti-money laundering course. Money laundering is a complex process designed to conceal the illegal source of money, make it appear legitimate, and allow criminals to integrate these funds into the financial system without detection. The process typically follows 3 main stages: placement, layering, and integration. 1. Placement is the first stage, where dirty money derived from illegal activities, such as drug trafficking, fraud, or corruption, is introduced into the legitimate financial system. This is often the riskiest stage for money launderers because large, suspicious deposits should raise red flags with financial institutions. A common method of placement is called structuring, breaking down large amounts of cash into smaller, less suspicious deposits below reporting thresholds. Now, read page 83 of the IC report. 20 cardless cash deposits totaling $4,565,000 were made to Mr. Holness's JN bank account between May and July of 2020. The depositor's identity is unknown. This fits the classic device of structuring deposits to fall below reporting limits. But Chung didn't recognize any red flag here. 2. The second stage of money laundering is called layering and involves a series of transactions designed to distance the illicit money from its source and obscure the audit trail. By moving the money through various accounts, businesses, and financial instruments, the aim is to make tracing the origin of the funds exceedingly difficult. I invite you to read page 122 of the IC report. During the forensic examination, data was mined from 33 bank statements relating to Holness's associated companies for accounts across 3 financial institutions. There were thousands, 2,360, of transactions totaling almost $500 million, moving back and forth across these accounts. The use of multiple accounts for unusual patterns of transactions fits classic layering behavior and is another clear red flag that Chung didn't recognize. Dennis Chung couldn't pass an introductory level exam for recognizing suspicious transactions, but now heads the FID. Let's cut the hypocrisy and call this what it is.
All right, so there you go, Ed Boy. Talk to me. Ed Boy?
Yeah, my brother.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
you heard me?
Yes, man.
Yeah. No, so we want to look at the summary findings because the affidavit is about 100 and something pages.
Yes.
Right?
Mhm.
So we can say to people, Colin, I'm asking you if you can drop a link with the affidavit in your thing so that people can download it, so they can see for themselves. Because
Yes.
these days we want people to see the evidence. We don't want us come bang them out.
Yes.
Yeah? Now, I want to set this in record. The core issues that Mr. Holness faces didn't start yesterday, and they have pulled out one of the biggest tricks on the Jamaican people. Mr. Holness pretended as if he was not under investigation from as far back as 2006.
2006.
2006. Because what happened when he came to power in 2016 with the issues that he had stemming from about 2017, remember that Integrity Commission was newly formed. But before that, we had the Office of the Contractor General, which virtually acted like what you call it, like a similar to the Integrity Commission. Yeah.
Mhm.
So what we have seen now, it is clear to me that the Prime Minister's situation did not start in 2016 when he became Prime Minister. And to buttress my point, I want to say that Dr. Phillips' statements in 2000, leading up to the 2016 election, Mr. Phillips has now been vindicated. You hear what I said? Vindicated.
Also.
So let us go.
Also.
Let's show you now. I'll show you how now. Now, the Integrity Commission's fundamental issue with Mr. Holness started the timeline is between 1998, which is when he entered representational politics, right? The first one is that he has undeclared business income. Yeah. He operated 3 companies while in office, right? Sunshine Mobile Taxi, the Leader Taxi, and Omega Bridge Financing, which is a loan company. These taxi companies generated millions in unreported income. Example, Sunshine Mobile, which was generating 10.2 million a year. Yeah. In revenue as a taxi company with only 3 cars, by the way. Yeah. Holness claimed these were for constituency support, but it has been rejected by the IC investigators. Yeah, because he was making the case that his thing was for constituency support. Yeah, but it was not. It was not for constituency support. Now we go to 2005, 2007, which the IC is as a high risk offshore investments. And this is where, Colin, your favorite phrase is going to come in. Tala, tala. Yeah. Because in 2005 to 2007, Mr. Holness invested in Olint and Cash Plus.
Tala!
Yeah.
Tala!
He invested in Olint and Cash Plus.
But hold on now, Ed boy. I am not going to chastise him for investing in Olin and Cash Plus. A whole heap of Jamaicans investing in them.
No, I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why he must be chastised for it now.
Okay, tell me.
Yeah. Okay, so Mr. Holness have been invested in Olint.
Servant David, good morning. Morning, Servant David from Caribbean Radio. And we have a big announcement about Caribbean Radio to make later, you know. Go ahead, Ed boy. Continue.
So he deposited 23.7 million. Remember, at this time, Holness's income was 2.5 million. Yeah.
So hold on the head. Which year him invested in Olint and Cash Plus? Which year was that?
2006.
2006.
Before they came to the power.
Right. Him invest so much?
23.5 million. No, sorry, 23.7 million.
23.7 million.
Into Olint. Source unexplained. Him can't tell you when they get the 23 for put it in there.
Right. Yeah?
But it's not done there.
Yeah.
He withdraw 150K USD from Olint in 2007 to buy USD to buy properties via shell company. This was when ADMAT was now being heard because
over St. Lucia.
Over St. Lucia. Yeah. But I want to buttress this point by saying that it is quite funny that Mr. Holness withdrew 150K USD from Olint in 2007. And within the same year, Olint collapsed. Yeah?
Well, but 150, that's not a whole heap of money, Ed boy. So maybe you lose some money in a Olint. Because hold on.
No, you're not understanding, you know. In order to purchase the house, the property, yeah, the funds were sent through Olint. That is why it says he invested in Olint Cash Plus and used funds for undisclosed business. But we're going to show the property acquisitions now via the same Olint. Yeah.
Yeah.
So most of his money was taken out. So he used Adman Inc. to buy properties at Arcada Drive. We know that one there because our good friend has been talking about it for years.
Zara Burton.
It's not. Yes.
Yes.
And then Shenstone House, which was for $67.9 million. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, why is it a concern to me that Mr. Holness invested in Olint and also withdraw his money around the time it was about to collapse?
Yeah.
I'll tell you why it is of importance to me, Colin.
Yeah.
Because if the people of Portland remember, and the people particular Portland and St. Elizabeth and Clarendon remember, during the 2007 election when they were trying to get Porsche out of power, there was an helicopter going around the country.
Yeah.
With the one in West Portland. Yeah. He was in that helicopter. And a man by the name of Ian Moore, who at the time was one of the financiers representing David Smith, the convicted fraudster. Yeah. And it was that Olint money that was dropped in Northern Clarendon, dropped in Northwest Clarendon, dropped in certain places in St. Elizabeth to get rid of Porsche during that election. Yeah. So we are concerned that every minute Mr. Holness's association with these Ponzi schemes, and he seems to come out unscathed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because him take out the money out of SSL just before it crashed too.
Which would be tantamount to
insider trading.
Yeah. So there's no proof of the legitimate funding construction paid through the company. So they paid 18.2 million.
Yes.
But they said they owed the suppliers, but they couldn't provide any form of And this 18 million is in relation to the renovation of the Shenstone house they purchased. Yeah.
Yeah.
They couldn't tell you who the suppliers were, how much them owe them, how much debt them have with them. They couldn't tell you. Now here comes the new and improved wholeness, the new and different leader, the leader who loves Jamaica and wants to see transformation.
Yes.
Yeah. So he transferred ADMAT assets to Imperium Holdings.
Oh, yes.
Because remember, in 2016, ADMAT was exposed. And
Yes.
what do money launderers do when their enclave or the conclave is exposed? They try to find a different holding vehicle or holding company to do the transactions. Yeah. So he created Imperium, Positive Media, and Estate Bridge with family shareholders. Estate Bridge received $61.8 million from Mr. Norman Brown, who can't tell who him get the money. That's why he is before the Integrity Commission now too.
Yes.
Yeah? And 19.8 million from Holness's sister. And it is not in keeping with her income because she could not justify as well to the Integrity Commission and Mr. Holness how his sister came by 19.8 million having a foreclosure house in Miami. Yeah? How she get the money?
So our house in Miami was on foreclosure?
It was foreclosed. It's public record.
Ed boy,
Public record.
I don't understand how labor rights are not concerned with all of this around Andrew Holness. And I challenge any labor right who is not concerned about all of this and is just on this mission that the Integrity Commission is against Mr. Holness. I want to sell them the bridge down a 3 mile for $1. $1. Me I sell them the bridge down a 3 mile for. Something is not right. Something ugly. Tala! Rabashada. Ed boy. So
yeah. No.
What else?
No. When we look, there's two last aspects of it, which is even more damning.
Yes.
Yeah? So I'm on the final lap now.
Quickly, because
so
I'm going to Damian Crawford shortly.
Right. So let me do it quickly. So in 2020, right? So we go back here. The Integrity Commission flagged this network. Because we have to look at what happened, you know. So in the Integrity Commission flagged Mr. Holness's network, which means whatever your network has to be equal to your assets less your liabilities. So whatever those two come up to, you use to determine people's liabilities. Their network. So assets minus liability equals network for individuals. Yeah. Now in 2006, Mr. Holness had 22.8 million, which I just mentioned earlier on. His network increased by 310%.
Hold on now. Hold on now, Ed boy, because we have to write. Go again. Give me that information again. In 20...
Right. So the Integrity Commission's major issue with Holness was that they flagged his network spike.
Hold on, I think I have it.
So his assets and his liabilities are not equal to what the Integrity Commission expect him to have in keeping with his salary. Yeah. So we saw a 310 increase or spike in Mr. Holness's net worth from 20 to 22.8 million, and it was actually coming from 2.3 million at the time. Yeah.
Yes.
Now in 2008, Mr. Holness had another spike of 23.9 million JMD, which was a 44% increase. So maybe him grow by roughly about $1 million on his income. Yeah. Now Holness's salary at the time, though, must be noted, it was between 2.5 and 8.5 million JMD.
That time he was what? Minister of Education.
Minister of Education.
Yes.
The report, which refers to the 2019 report, Exhibit C1, found 23 omissions in declarations as far back as 1998 to 2016, including undisclosed business offshore accounts, Olint investments, and false explanations for proper funding. You hear that?
Yes.
So Imperium now, we're on the last lap because between 2021 and 2023. And
Yeah.
this is where the issues are now for Mr. Holness. Imperium received $51 million from Green Emerald Trading and plus positive media to Imperium. Because remember, Imperium is now the holding asset,
Yes.
the holder, the holding company. Undisclosed bank accounts at NCB and First Global with suspicious transactions. The critical things in this is that the financial analyst shows that Mr. Holness's net worth growth versus his income gap of 41.4 GMD unexplained between 2006 and 2019. The shell companies, the trail from ADMA to Imperium to Estate Bridge. So in terms, ladies and gentlemen, Holness built wealth through undeclared businesses. He moved profits into offshore schemes or lent and then bought properties via shell companies, ADMAT and Imperium. When caught, he delayed disclosures for years and created new entities, Positive Media, Estate Bridge, to obscure funds. So as me rest my point, right, yes, so, Colin, the video played a while ago shows how money launderers move money. The first thing is the placement. So when you have ill-gotten funds, like somebody going to an ATM machine, doing 20, them person good enough, 20 transactions. Me no have the patience for that. I prefer going to the bank with the money.
Then no hide, hide the money, brother. If you hide the money, we expect.
But that's the point. Then the limit of transactions, right, was even breached because
hold your last word because I'm going to come back to you after I talk to the teacher. I'm going to come back to you and we'll wrap up this because this is vital.
Oh, you have Damien?
Yeah, man, I have the teacher right now. So
okay,
I'm going to talk to him.
Man, let the teacher come.
And then I'll come back to you and we're going at this because the people need to know these things. These things cannot be hidden. People have to know what's going on. Hold on, we'll ask Damien there. Let me get him back. Let me get back Senator Crawford. Let me get back Senator Crawford here. Because this is serious. Yeah, man, ready. All right, listeners, we have on the line Senator Damian Crawford, the PNP spokesperson on education. Senator Crawford, morning.
Morning, my brother.
We're fine, thank you. Now, listen to you when it was Wednesday night in what I consider to be one of the best political speech I've heard in a long time, even though you basically stayed on your portfolio in education. Some people are complaining. Well, I think we're complaining because I think now most of the doubters have been silenced. That you said that you were going to extend the school day by another 2 hours. But before you come in, I also wonder if they were ever listening to you. Because I remember down here in East Portland in 2019, you were saying the exact thing. Explain to my listeners and viewers what it is that you're proposing for our Jamaican children and our Jamaican teachers.
Well, you have to add another category, your Jamaican parent.
Yes.
Because it is also of extreme benefit to the Jamaican parent.
Most definitely.
Well, the first thing I would love for us to analyze is how do you come to a solution? Because many people have not really delayed themselves on the route to a solution. So when you go get a solution, otherwise called an idea, it starts with identifying what is the perfect outcome, what you want, what is desired. So when you do some mathematics, then say find X. So say X is desired. So you want to know what is desired. The second step is to then say what is the reality. And then when you find the reality, you then say, when you compare the reality to what is desired, that is the problem. So the problem only can be defined by comparing what you want to what you have. What do we want? We want a system where the vast majority of our children are socially well-behaved, well-mannered, disciplined. We want a system where more people are getting their subjects than failing. We want a system that unscrupulous adults don't get a chance to take advantage of unsupervised children. So I think there's none among us that would say we don't want these three things.
Would disagree with any of that?
Right. Now, let us analyze what we have. What we have is only 65% of our fourth graders are literate, and that is basic literacy. And if you look at the factor, that would mean that 35% are not literate. Within any single age group, therefore, is about 11,000 children not literate, 11,000. It would mean that between the ages of 10 and 20, we would have 110,000 not having been literate. We see the results happening in a school in news recently, like Pembroke Hall, and Pembroke Hall had 80% of their children in 7th grade not literate. And they were better than Holy Trinity, that had almost 90% not literate.
Jesus
now,
Christ.
What do we have? We have a result from PET that shows that up to 11,000 are not competent in math, basic proficiency. And of the 32,000 that is doing 6th grade maths, only 2,400 have high mastery.
2,600 out of 32,000?
Have high mastery. So the vast majority who are proficient...
Isn't this an emergency?
No, that's definitely an emergency. Now, if you look at what we are, right? If we never have high mastery in music, we wouldn't have had Bob Marley and the impact that we have had generally. If we never have high mastery in sports, we wouldn't have Bolt and Shelley and Elaine and all the things that we have achieved from that. Now, in education, we have very basic mastery and most don't master it. All right. What else do we have? At the end of the school year, the World Bank says that having been exposed to 17 years of education, the Jamaican student would have had 11.5 years of effective learning. So that is really saying almost 5 years have been wasted on book, wasted on lunch money, wasted on uniform, because the system don't create an effective education outcome. So you are going to school for 17 years and you're getting equivalent of 11 years of effective education. That's not my study. That's the World Bank study.
Right.
It says that if they were able to get effective education, the average Jamaican would have earned over their lifetime more than $70 million more than they're going to earn.
$70 million more if they were more educated.
Yeah, if they got basic effective education. Now, make we just look simply. You have some 20-year-old, 22-year-old out there now that had they got an opportunity, they would have been a doctor.
Yes.
Then possibly run taxi or whatever. When you talk to them, you can see competence, you can see capacity.
Yes.
All right. Now, if this person is earning, let's say, $120,000 a month, let's say $30,000 a week, he might be making $120,000
a month.
He is losing, based on his capacity, up to $600,000 more that he could have been making as a doctor. All right.
As an engineer.
As an engineer.
As a chartered accountant.
As a lawyer. As a chartered accountant. As a banker. And some people try to sell this argument, but them left university and them now make the money. That is not unusual when you're 1 year removed, 2 year removed, 4 year removed. All of us were suffering when we just done university.
Right, because you have no experience and people kind of shake if you employ
and you get the entry-level job.
Right, but after a couple of years...
university graduate.
Yeah, after a couple of years, you think turn up.
You think, turn up. So, when we look again, we said 18% of the children who did CXC get the minimum acceptable standard of 5 subjects, including math and English. That means 82% failed. Now, let's look at the simple math. If it is that 35,000 students the exam, only about 7,000 get what was necessary to say you completed high school satisfactorily.
So the other
That means,
25,000
yes.
have problem.
28,000. 28,000.
Sorry, 28,000.
28,000 a year.
Have problem.
Meaning that don't get the satisfactory GED. That's what the US call a GED, five
Yes.
subject including math and English. So when we look at what is desired, we're very far from what is desired. No. We then said, all right, so we see the problem. The problem is not an individual problem. The problem is a systematic problem.
Nationally.
That there are things within the system that has caused for a general underperformance. Because statistically, you don't look at the individual unless it's an outlier. So normally, like I said, 90% apart, then you look at what might be the individual problem for the 10%.
Yes.
All right. So when you get 82% not passing, the only individual you look at is the one we passed. What is different with this one that is passing?
Beautiful.
Because the general system is seeking to make them not pass.
Yes.
So we look at the ones who are passing. What's the difference? The majority of those who were proficient, and definitely those who were highly proficient, went to extra classes.
Talk to me.
So when they look on GSAT outcome,
Yeah.
the majority who get them first choice school and who get high mastery, they went to extra classes.
So them doing some extra work. The
Extra
heights,
work.
the
Extra
heights that great
exposure.
men reach and kept were not
Not
attained
attained.
by sudden
Right.
flight. But they, while
No.
their companion gone home unsupervised, were toiling through the evening.
Through the afternoon.
Yes, sir.
What's the one? The ones who are doing well in math, sciences, including physics, chemistry, even from Campion, biology, they are going to extra classes.
Yes.
This is an undeniable fact that no Jamaican is unaware of.
And teachers are teaching these classes while the parents are paying.
Yes. So the only reality that is different between what we have proposed and what exists is that those who can't afford to pay now have an opportunity to participate.
Because you are saying the next PNP government will pay for those who can't pay. What is wrong with that?
Well, what is wrong with that is that there will be less dog bathers and less bathroom cleaners. And these people have always wanted to maintain that separation within the society. Because most of who were resistant, their children go to extra class.
And go to private
Some of the
school.
politicians that I heard speaking, me teach them pick me an extra class.
Tell her what can go so. But they don't want Mr. Tom, who only have half acre farm pan, can barely find food. They don't want Femme Child to get the extra class.
Don't forget Michael Manley's dream is that the street sweeper son can become a doctor.
Of course.
Now that dream wasn't based on the street sweeper son's capacity. It was based on the sweeper's hurdle to their son becoming a doctor.
Yes.
Because if it was the capacity, only God could have intervened.
Exactly.
But if it is the system, that is where leadership intervenes, politicians intervene.
Politicians making policy to make this
Yes.
possible.
Exactly. So we said to them, yo, listen, the first thing we have to look at is Mondays and Wednesdays to offer homework, to offer remedial lessons,
Yes.
to make sure that what him don't understand this week don't become a handicap to him next week when we're teaching what depends on this week.
That's it.
Making sure that you get fractions before you move on to decimals.
That's it.
So if I'm behind in that, in come Mondays and Wednesdays. All right. We then come to the second problem we identified. unscrupulous people taking advantage of unsupervised children.
Yes.
Let us not forget that starting data says between 2009 and 2019, 60,000 adolescents had a baby. That means that 60,000 teenagers had a baby.
Oh, God. Yeah.
Girls who leave full time, 47% is because of pregnancy.
I don't know if you're moving, Damian, but we're not hearing you as good as
Yes.
you were. Yeah.
All right, you hear me now?
Yeah, man.
So the girls who drop out of school before time, 47% is due to pregnancy. This is World Bank data, not my data, not JLP data. Now, in spite of that, you barely see even an advertisement. You see no law, you see no policy, nothing. Now, as I said, not when I say it's new, because 2 years ago I went to ask for an increase in the age of consent from 16 to 18 since school not done till 18.
That is right, and you can't vote till 18 either. You can't even work legally till 18.
But to have a young girl be, what would I say now? I don't want to say abuse because the law don't call it abuse. But to have her impregnated at 16 when she's supposed to graduate at 19, have no benefit.
And say it is legal. It is
No.
all right.
When she gets pregnant, and because she's 16 and her mother might have been 36 or 40, there's nobody to take care of this child now, and she can't pay for child care.
So she drop out of school.
She drop out of school and she can't re-enter into the working space until the fitness starts for basic school because she cannot pay. So she lose 3 years of being home with this child. Now, let me show you the system. And the definition of a system is a set of variables that work together to maintain the status quo.
Yes.
So this same 16-year-old baby is now 3-year-old, so she's 19. She said, all right, now go back to work. She gone back in the working world. She had juggled some bag juice down in downtown or wherever.
Hold on, because she gone back in the working world unqualified.
Unqualified.
All right.
Now, if she had juggled some bag juice and I sell to people, then she can't go home until people basically don't travel.
Yes.
So she reached home 7:15 because she not left our space until 6:30. But this 3-year-old child is home alone playing with matches.
Tola! Playing with lighter.
Burn down the house. Now let us hope that the 3-year-old don't get injured. But now this 19-year-old is in a spot of bother. She not in the house again.
Homeless.
She homeless. Let us say that this never happened to the house. The 3-year-old grew and grew until she's now 24. So this 19-year-old that did have a baby at 16, the 3-year-old now reached 14. So 11 years from that, this lady is now 30. The child unsupervised is now being molested by some person who live in close proximity, and she have a baby at 15.
Whoa. Generational
now, let
poverty.
me tell you, in 10 years, 60,000 have a baby.
Yes.
Imagine then, because everybody will have sex to have a baby, you know.
True. True.
Imagine then how many teenage girls are being exposed to sex. These are situations. All right. The boy is being recruited by the gang.
Tell her.
He have nothing to do than to walk down the road, go par with the youth them.
Yeah, because food are cooked on the corner and him can't get 2 dumplings because I'm hungry.
Exactly. A man asked him if he not come, but him also not doing no homework because very few children volunteer for to do no homework.
That's it.
You know how much lick me have to get to the homework? You know how much time my virgin them out the road to play ball? And me, I only listen to ball game because my mother said don't move.
You can't move. Homework have to do. And your mouth
The environment.
long. Your mouth long.
Long, man. And now you appreciate it when you have the difference between.
So imagine a youth. Imagine a youth who don't have a mother. Imagine a youth who don't have a mother. If he says, sit down and do your homework. But him go and play ball and them a show him the gun and I say, yo, we're going to eat our food tonight. Forward because every day you come here and eat food and you not do no work. Madness. Senator Crawford, the teachers were wondering if they were going to be paid. We lost Senator Crawford. Damien? Let me see what's going on over here, so. If we lost the senator. Look like we lost the senator. Let's try and get him back. Let's try and get back the senator. Don't know we lose him, but this discussion is vital. Call some people. Tell them to step in. Tell them to forward because they need to hear this. Hello? Yeah. All right. So we have about the senator. We have about the senator.
We don't want this one have to be heard,
You understand? Because this is damning. And we have to say to the labor rights, how dare you criticize this? Talk to it, Damien.
No. Somebody, let me jump on where you just asked about the labor rights now. Let us look at the facts. In 2015, literacy at 4th grade in Jamaica was 84%. In 2024, it is 65%.
So it dropped.
Dramatically dropped.
Yes.
In 2015, 5 subjects, including math and English, was 28%.
28% in 2016, coming out of the PNP administration.
Correct. Currently, that's 18%.
And 2024, it's at 18%.
Yes.
So from 26%, 28%, sorry, to 18%, there's a 10% drop under the labor rights.
So how you calculate that is new minus old over old. So 28 minus 18 over 28.
Mm-hmm.
That would be 10 over 28. So that is almost 36%.
Wow.
Reduction.
36 percentage points.
All right. Yes. Now, watch me now. There's some who are going to claim now that, but the parents have a duty and the parents what list. The greatest injustice is to punish a child for their parents' inadequacy.
Wicked.
Because if my mother shoots somebody, nobody could have sent me for God jail for it.
Not at all.
But if my mother don't buy food, people send me to starve. And remember, what they try to sell as what list is the same 19-year-old who are kill herself downtown to buy some water, buy some juice and sell back so that she can cook.
Provide a meal for the child.
This is the person who them say is a worthless individual, as if they don't realize that 56% of Jamaicans have food insecurity.
Is the United Nations say so or Damien Crawford say so?
This is what the FAO have said. The Food and Agriculture Organization.
Yes.
Global organization. Not JLP spin, because how is it that 3% of the people unemployed, but 56% can't buy food?
That no maths out.
The maths is not mathsing.
No.
But when you look on the data, it tells you that unemployment don't calculate people who are not looking at work. And 670,000 people stop looking at work.
Yeah. No people don't realize that when they talk about this unemployment. And one of the reasons why a lot of those people not looking at work, because man I say, yo, but if me go to work, me I go in a debt when me don't work for the week because the week's pay can't cover the expense to take me to and from work and buy lunch.
It can't cover the cost of work. All right. So then they come now to the teachers.
Yes.
And they tried to spread a rumor that we were going to force teachers into the additional 2 years. In the exact article that introduced the conversation more recently, it said the teachers would be paid.
Definitely.
The same article. It also said that, listen, you will choose if you want to participate.
Right, so it's not a compulsory.
Not only choose, you have to apply. Because your area might not be an area of need. So a teacher will apply and say, all right, I want to help with literacy. This is my qualification. Ray. I want to do 2 hours a week. All right, cool. This is your payment for the 2 hours a week. Sign the contract right there. So this is the school where you go.
Yeah.
What that means? That means that a teacher over campaign, we are getting 96% getting 5 subjects, including math and English. We are getting 100% pass in all some subjects like math. That teacher could say, "I'll go over Mona in the evening, go help them."
Yes.
Now go just drive up the road and go for Papi and go help them.
Yeah.
My campaign youth no need no more help. And if him need more help, him already have pay money go down to Ottens and Ray.
And I get it.
I get it. I can talk for myself. My son have a physics teacher will come on my yard. He don't go extra class. The man come on my yard.
Yeah.
Right? He might get individualized lesson. How many people say that help my youth but no want it for the country?
That's one of my concerns, Damian. And I mean, not to belabor the point, but I am very disappointed in a man like a Marlon Morgan who claim to be bright and criticize this point, don't want Jamaican children to get that extra contact time with teachers.
No.
Won't you do that?
Bright is not based on self-analysis, you know.
Tell her.
So you can't just take bright for yourself, you know.
Hey.
I have never heard nobody accuse Marlon Morgan of being bright. Where is that evidence where somebody says, say him bright? I've never heard a rumor.
You never hear nobody of accusing him of being bright.
I've never heard nobody accuse him to offer defense on his behalf. So what is happening now is that some people just take up bright for themselves and appoint themselves as king. You can't appoint yourself as king.
Let me ask you though, Damian, all of these plans that you are putting forward, you become the Minister of Education in a couple of weeks. How soon will the Jamaican people start seeing these things being implemented?
I am trying to tell Andrew Holness, a.k.a. Craveny, to hurry up and call the election so we can do some things before school starts. Some changes need to make before the opening of school.
You're going to have maybe a you're going to only have a week before school before you become.
So that is delaying. We might have to wait till January to see some of the outcomes because of the selfishness of this government to decide, say, listen, I don't care who will manage the opening of school. I am going to run an election when I think is best able for us to not lose as badly as we would have lost before.
The longer them wait is the worse they're going to lose. But tell me something now, Damian. You put all this in place. Oh, what is the time period to start seeing the result? To start seeing a move from the 18% in maths and English with 3 other subjects. How long it going to take us to start see some tangible result?
2 years.
2 years.
Because the first thing we have to approach is the thing say 18, if you think that 5%, 5 subjects with maths and English, is to get maths and English up to 60%.
Yeah.
Because it is the dominant part of the conversation. It must include maths and English. After we get maths and English up to 60%, we then have to now make sure that people are selecting courses that they are not only interested in, but that actually they see the value to their career outcome. You see, some of the things that we are doing with forcing these youth to do some subjects where they're not interested in have created a lack of motivation.
True.
So let us say you say, yo, you know what? I want to be a footballer. Maybe he will not be the biggest footballer in the world, but enough of my friend them go college out of football for free.
Yes.
And
yes.
them a finance man know everything. So the total value of sport is not only the final outcome. Enough youth that college go run when I reach Olympic.
Definitely.
And get free education out of it.
That is right. No, Senator, go ahead, finish.
So he says he wants to be an athlete. Now, it is up to you as a guidance counselor, the farm teacher, to say to him, all right, bro, you want to be an athlete, you have to do maths and English, so let me take out that. But if it's food and nutrition, you know, think it's important for you kind of understand what to eat and what to do and how it helps the body to recover. Jump on food and nutrition over there, sir.
Yes.
It's a human and social biology, you know, think it's important as an athlete to know about the different muscle and how it treatment and how it connects and why you have to stretch. All right, go and go do it over there, sir. Physical education, go and go do it over there, sir. So him already have 5 subjects what him interested in.
Definitely. No, Damian,
but
a lot of people looking at all that you have said, and I heard Linville write in an interview, and I want to agree with him, that one of the critical thing in education, to fix our education problem, is early childhood education. What are your plans for that aspect of our education?
Well, there's 2 components. First of all, a lot of people think early childhood education is only basic school education. Early childhood, by definition, is up to 9 years old.
Yes.
So, therefore, an early childhood graduate should be able to teach up to the end of grade 3, going into grade 4. So let us use that as the ballpark. The first component is what you call brain builders. And I'm not telling lie, the first person I heard with it was Roy Reid. As deep as he has become, he was the first person that introduced the concept of brain builders to me.
Right, so when our teeth nobody roses, give him roses.
Yeah, because I'm not like them with teeth people idea and try to recommission it and go on like a Fidemon, right? Because I don't know why JP keep challenging me with thinking, because they have never won me when it comes to thinking, not one day.
And it will not happen.
You remember when them laugh off of the JPS subsidy?
Yes.
So we have to help people with $4,000 in JPS.
And then them come do it.
And do the same $4,000.
Them could even tweak it.
Same exact $4,000 and they even got 3.5.
They could even tweak it. They don't even have the ability to tweak it, make it look like a little different.
All right. You remember when we come to Portland, come to Goat and then dead with laugh?
Yeah, and hold on.
Isn't small ruminants now the center of government approach in Ministry of Agriculture?
But hold on, Damian, because I must say this. Darrell Vaz on a platform in fellowship asks who are going rudeness the goat them. Me want to ask him who are rudeness them now.
Boy.
Let's get back to early childhood education.
So early childhood. The first thing is that first 1,000 days. 80% of the brain function develops in the first 1,000 days. So therefore, what you need at that point is not necessarily the knowledge.
Hello? Damian? Am I still there? Yeah, Damian, we're not hearing you. We'll Senator Crawford? I know I still see him on the call over here, but I'm not hearing him at all. Senator Crawford. Well, I'm not hearing him. And as we said, the devil coming like him don't want we have this interview. But we're going to have this interview here, you know. We want to finish up with Senator Crawford talking to us about early childhood education aspect of the thing. So make we get him back on the line here. Because that's critical. Yeah, man, make we get you back on this line here. We also want to ask him about an audit of the Ministry of Education. Yeah, Damian, let's go back to the early childhood as we wrap up this interview.
Yes, so the first thing is the first 1,000 days.
Yes.
And the first 1,000 days is how the brain functions. That's the focus of the first 1,000 days. So that is why it was called Brain Builder Center. Them said that 80% of the brain's function happen in the first 1,000 days of how it will function.
Yeah.
So a lot of our children were born capable because they were not trained into the functioning of the brain. Them really know at a disadvantage moving forward.
Mm.
So we have to build out those brain builder centers.
Yes.
So that from the age of 1.5, 2, you can start going into quote unquote school. But it's not necessarily only ABC. It is how the brain functions.
Yeah.
The other thing is that they have less basic school into the total ambit of the private sector. And they don't want to assist those private sector people to function.
Talk to me.
So a man who have a basic school can't get a loan to fix up in basic school. So he'll say, yo, I want to get a better output. I want to put in medical playground. I want to put in this and that to qualify. But you don't allow him to borrow 500,000 over the next 10 years.
So what the
So
PNP
it's so-
government going to do? What you going to do about that?
We're putting that system. We're putting basically special interest rate loan so that these basic schools who our audit tells us don't qualify can borrow some money over a period of time so that they can put in the necessary things to qualify.
Definitely.
The vast majority don't qualify.
So you are going to bring them up to that standard and make that access to funds available for them.
Yes. Because if you borrow the money over 10 years, you can collect it back month by month and go and pay your $5,000.
Yeah.
You understand me? So if you borrow $1 million over 10 years and you repay back at 2% interest rate, you look for maybe $10,000 a month.
And this government had the wherewithal to do something like that, you know, Damien. They gave
Well,
out...
if they just come give $1 billion to try win election to those people.
Which billion? It's 12.4 billion they give. Remember them give 11 billion, 11.4 before that, you know. Just give it in a 20,000, you know. so the overall amount that they have given away to win the election is $12.4 billion.
Yeah.
So
what do you mean it ended up? What do you mean them have the wherewithal?
That's what I said they had the wherewithal to do it, but never do it. No, one of my listeners is saying to you that they want a commitment that when you get into the Ministry of Education, a proper forensic audit will be done first before you get in there.
No, well, me now make them blame me for them atrocities.
Tell her.
So the first day me go in there now. Me I look under it. Me I lift up the mat. Me I contemplate them. Me I tell it because listen, their aim is to sell a lie and then say we flop.
Yes.
Their aim is to cut a ribbon and then say we no bill it. So a full audit and a full report on everything that is behind.
Yes.
Because you know them have some accounts done by the Ministry of Health. That was about 11 years behind.
And in the Ministry of Education, it's over $900 billion that have not properly been accounted for to the Auditor General either.
So them want me now to take up my time. I try the accounts from 11 years ago, and then them put a report say my one already. No, that can't work.
So line up the auditors. I want you to listen to this, Damien, and respond to this for me. Listen to this.
Christian and Palestine.
No, not that one. This one.
We have 850 schools in rural Jamaica with 650,000 rural students.
650,000 rural students. Is that true?
No, the total number of students in Jamaica is 447,000 at the government institution.
Hold on. The man says rural Jamaica. Listen to him again.
We have 850 schools in rural Jamaica with 650,000 rural students.
650,000 rural students, Darrell Vase?
But come on, man. If we ever listen to Darrell Vaz for information, we misguide it.
No, but they are on public platform, Damian. This is the Minister of Transport on public platform telling the people of Jamaica 800 had rural schools, 650,000 rural students, you know. That not talking Kingston and St. Andrew. And you are now telling us that is 400 and odd students in Jamaica, primary and secondary?
Yes.
These things can't be allowed. So we have to put them out there.
The guy is crazy, man.
We have to put them out there so that people with the information like you can tell the people of Jamaica what the figures are.
Yeah.
All right, so Damian, we're wrapping up. What finally you want to say to my listeners and viewers this morning?
I didn't hear you.
Yeah, Mr. As we wrap up this interview, what are your final words for my listeners and my viewers?
Well, just to make sure that lives don't win this election. Because that's the only way the JP have a chance. The JP have no chance if the facts are allowed to exist. Once the facts exist, the people will realize. Once the people realize that we have declined in literacy, we have declined in CXE, we have declined in student outcomes generally, then can judge who is best for education. And the fact of the matter is that is the People's National Party.
Finally, you talk about a teacher retention plan. Only one party have a teacher retention plan. Just tell us what that retention plan is before you go this morning. To retain our teachers.
We have seen the challenges facing our teachers. And out of those challenges facing our teachers, we have said we need to put some things in place based on research that we did with those teachers.
Yes.
One of the problems they have is the ownership of homes. We have said, listen, all right, we will make additional $6 million available per borough at this special NHD rate.
Additional $6 million, you said?
And $6 million. So it's $15 million for the max for the teacher.
So you're saying that under the next PNP administration, one teacher will be able to get $15 million from the NHT?
Exactly.
That is big.
Making it more likely to them own a home.
Yes.
We also said that we're going to implement concession.
Yes.
What is the reason for concession? Because many of them can't afford a car.
Right.
Principals get concession. Politicians get concession. I mean, why would teachers not be considered? So we say graduating concession.
Yeah.
We also say that for every year that you stay in the teaching profession, the student loan is forgiven. So every year that you stay in the profession, the student loan is what is written on, and you move to the other stage.
So hold on, let me see if I understand
we say that
this.
The internet is a tool of trade, and we will pay for the internet so that they can prepare and be ready for school.
So you're saying you will pay teachers, the government will pay teachers' internet bill at home?
Yes.
Right.
Then where does the teacher prepare?
At home.
For school.
At home. That's why they do the lesson plan.
Exactly.
Right. So
exactly.
Let me understand this before I let you go. You're saying that if you have student loan, so if I have student loan, I'm a teacher and it's 10 years. You're saying that if I stay in the profession for 10 years, I won't have to pay the student loan?
The student loan would have totally been forgiven.
So every year...
And if you stay for 5 years is forgiven. So, I can stay for 1 year. One year is forgiven. So
once I go to college and have a student loan, come out and teaching. So if I teach 2025, 2026, that year I don't have to pay it? So you're saying to teachers... Are you saying to teachers that if you have a student loan and you are teaching, stop paying the loan?
Yes, they don't have to pay the loan anymore.
Tell her, hold on. Let me get this clear, Senator Crawford. So a teacher leave the micro university or the Case Teachers College this July, have a student loan that the Student Loan Bureau says 10 years you're going to take to pay this loan. And that teacher...
And that is maybe 30 grand a month.
Right. And that teacher decide that, well, based on what Senator Crawford say, PNP win, I don't have to pay a dime. All I have to do is make certain I am here teaching. You are saying that that teacher don't even have to look back upon that student loan. Just stay in the classroom in the government school and teach for 10 years, and that is it?
Yes, that is it.
Labor right dead again. Senator Crawford, I want to thank you for gracing us with your presence this morning, my brother.
Always.
Looking forward to seeing you in Port Antonio Town Square on the 9th of August for the Portland rally. One love, my brother. Time come.
All right. Go.
Time come. You heard it. Call the teachers who have student loan and tell them, under the next PNP administration, you don't have to pay one dime more. It will be written off. Want to hear that? Teachers will get up to a maximum of $15 million for NHT under the next PNP administration. It is a teacher retention plan. The PNP is saying to the people of Jamaica, if our teachers continue to leave in job, our people will suffer, and we cannot afford for our teachers to be going. We can't pay. We can't pay what the United States will be paying them.
Good morning.
Hold on, Sam.
Good morning.
Hold on, Sam. Hold on. We can't pay them what the UK will pay them. But Senator Crawford says one of the things that our Jamaican teachers always want is to own their own home. One of the things that our teachers want is to be able to own them ride. And the next PNP administration will say to them, we are giving you concession. We are increasing what you can get from NHT up to 15 million. Somewhere say, I have our next interview coming up, and I'm telling you it's a massive show this morning. We're going to
I just want to remind you something about Damon Crawford.
Yes.
Do you realize everything that Damon Crawford speak about? The JP said, stupidness is this. And later down the line, then change it and take ownership of it.
Yeah,
all right. You remember the goat business?
I mean, I tell about the goat business, man. The goat business was conceived in my presence.
Right. I know you and Damon Crawford was preaching that case would be turned into a university.
Yeah, man. That's the whole university thing start. Me and Damien. The goat thing was conceived in my presence.
And who grab it now? When one of them oppose it now, who grab it now?
The goat thing? Labor right now
trying. The university. They change agriculture to university. Who grab it now?
Listen, them only talking, them not
Pride Green.
Them only
Pride
talking.
Green I use it. Pride Green has take ownership towards it.
Brother, and me, Colin Bell, sit down right here, sir. And me punch that whole university argument.
But I hear you talk every time you go on platform, you talk about it.
Yes, man. You remember down above there when I was presented the time down above.
And Dayton says we.
Yeah, man.
When I was presented down above me as the candidate, that was a part of my speech. Listen this. Listen this.
Comrades, the College of Agriculture must be upgraded to a university. The College of Agriculture is in East Portland, Comrade Leader. I want it to be called the University of Agricultural Science.
Stop. You see that? You hear that, Sam? That was December.
Yeah, man.
That was December 2023.
Yeah, I was telling you that they oppose all of these PMP vision. And later down the road, them say it and then change it to a different name. Right? The same toward the extra class. Right? Them know it good now. But they don't want to give credence to it because they want to look good. Right?
Yes.
But me can tell you, I bet you Dana Morris before election go and use it.
She can't use
But
it.
they want to change a different name.
Can't use
no,
it,
they want to call it
brother.
a different name. They will call it a different name.
Hold on. Sam, I have
man.
Keith Walford
Yeah.
from BSADC where me have to talk.
Yeah, man, all right. Yeah, man, we talk back to you a little more. I want to share
man.
something else with you.
Yeah, man, definitely.
All right.
As soon as I finish this interview here, we can talk about some other things. But I have this interview here lined up because we have a talk. You see? Sir Walford, good morning, Keith. Father Keith, morning.
Morning, Colin.
Original base Odyssey sound system. Welcome, former member of parliament down there in Senton. Big up yourself, my brother. Welcome to the Portland Spice TV.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me, and very good day to all of your listeners out there as well. Everybody out there listening in.
Right across the world, and my brother. Right across the world. Sir Walford, we saw a video with a policeman kick over a soundman console, and we also heard that him turn over a wall of boxes before. How did you feel as an original soundman when you hear that?
Well, I was hurt. I was extremely hurt to know that somebody could be so inconsiderate. You know, it's quite a few things about it, you know. Firstly, we need, and the police have to think about it, that we need them to be friendly with the communities that they serve.
Yes.
That is the first step, and actions like this will only divide and let people think the worst of the police.
Yes.
But also, you know, to know that a man slave and work hard to come up and buy him, and you know how much work he put in to buy him controller and his equipment, and just deliberately kick it over and damage it like that. There's so many ways we can look at it, but definitely it's a very sad state, and I was really bitter about it. And to be honest with you, whatever actions I could have taken to, you know, bring it out there, I did. I reposted, I spoke to other people about it, and I really hope that this man somehow is disciplined.
No, Sir Keith, I said to somebody yesterday that maybe 90% of soundmen in Jamaica don't really make a profit off of them sound. Is that true?
Yeah, man. It's a handsome up. Colin, sometimes I wonder when I hear what some sound systems tried, I wonder how they take home a dollar. Because when you have a sound system, you know, apart from the maintenance of the equipment, meaning amplifiers, speakers, dub plates, records, whatever you want to call it, you still have the trucking issues where you have to get the truck there. And if you, like a BSR is coming to Portland, and we have to hire a truck. I remember, you know, if I buy a truck, I still want to recoup that money. So
Yeah,
I have to charge what a truck.
The sound have to pay for the trucking costs. Yes.
Right. So if I should hire a truck man to take my system to Portland, I'm looking at possibly $70,000-$80,000 or more, you know.
All right.
Right. And if my selectors who do not travel on the truck, that they play the system and they start to play like say 10, 11 o'clock, the professionals, and they will have to come home to sleep to go to another event.
Yeah.
I have to send them in a taxi. Right? Because I cannot let them travel on the truck because they have to, when that truck leaves there, it is not necessarily coming back home, it goes somewhere else, and those selectors have to come in, refresh to go back again.
Yes.
So I have to send them in a taxi. And even if I were to say, okay, when are you drive? It is too risky because a man who works all night to turn on and drive from Portland back to St. Anne, it would not be wise.
No, not at all. And you'd be putting them in
so
danger.
When you incorporate those two costs alone between trucking and taxi, and you have not paid not even one worker yet, you have maintenance people who lift up the boxes, You have guys who run out the wires.
You have
You
your
have somebody who
technician.
plays early. And on top of that, you still have to make a profit.
And you have the technician who string the sound.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You know, the technician who string the sound. You know, so when you do all of those costs, and as I said, if you are not making a profit, it still doesn't make sense. So you still have to make some money.
When you,
so it's really a hand to mouth.
When you started BSADC, Keith, did you start it as a business or you started out of the love for sound system or music?
It was a combination of both. I love for the music because I was in jukeboxes, you know. I tell everybody, I used to go around and service jukeboxes. You used to have about Portland too.
So people don't know jukebox, you drop in your 10 cent and you punch 3 or 2 songs.
And you get 5 tunes.
Yes.
And when things go up, you drop in your 10 cent and you get 3 tunes. Then inflation keep when you drop in your 10 cent and you get 1 tune.
Yeah.
Until after that, it couldn't go no lower. Yeah.
And the
so
jukebox gradually cut out.
Music in jukeboxes. Right? And really, it's something that you get addicted to. You know, you just love it.
All right. No, that's what I was saying to somebody. You get to a stage where these equipment, you buy them not with the intention, say you have to make back the money, but because you love your sound and you want your sound to be playing the best. Sometimes the investment that you make not really come back.
No, I don't think it come. Well, if it does come back, it takes a couple of years, you know, before you start seeing it, because equipments are not made here in Jamaica. Most of them, 90% of them, you have to import them. In those days, in long time days, you used to have technicians, you used to build amplifiers here in Jamaica.
Yeah.
Right? But of recent, everything now high-tech, gone high-tech, you know. Yeah. Amplifiers that used to weigh nearly 100 pounds and could only push out 300 watts. Now you have an amplifier weighing 25 pounds and pushing out nearly 20,000 watts.
Yes, yes.
So, you know, it's some high-tech thing that, you know, you really have to get that knowledge from people who have it.
I said to people, Father Keith, that the sound system is the foundation of Jamaican music. Anywhere Jamaican music is today, it is the sound system operators and owners who build it. Am I right?
Yes, of course.
Talk
to us
about
in my
that.
early days, you know, the early days of sound system, and remember we still came in late, because 89 you consider it late. If you're thinking about Coxon, Dad, and Jammies and them, and
Tobbies,
who were way earlier than my sound system, right? But
Kilimanjaro.
This is where it all started.
Yeah.
Kilimanjaro, yeah. But even before Jaro, there were other sound systems. So, you know, I think, are carrying on a legacy that was set from these guys long ago. All right? And it is up to us to keep carrying that flag.
So what about now the respect? Is there respect from government, respect from the security forces to our sound system owners and operators?
Well, Colin, like anything else, you have good police, bad police. You know, you have police who are understanding and who knows what a man put out when he put on a dance. So much saving, some man save all 6 months to put on a good event, you know.
Yes, definitely.
Right. And some people save more than that. Some not a year to put on a good event.
Because you have some man who have just one event them put on for the year. And from them done it, them are plan it for next year.
Plan it for next year. And those who understand the sacrifices that one makes to put on these events will be more lenient. But then you have some people who them just don't care. You know, like that policeman, him just don't care. Him just say, "Why, I kick down this." You know what I mean? And without any respect for what that man would have gone through or what we sound system owners go through to make this happen. And he needs to realize that it's because of our contribution to the economy. That is what pays him. For him to realize that, you know.
Exactly.
So we play a very significant role in contributing to the economy that pays him.
Let me ask you this, Father
That
Keith.
gives him a job.
Let me ask you this. COVID, during the period of COVID, did you get any assistance from the government?
No, I did not. I did not.
Not 1 cent?
Not a red cent. And honestly, I didn't even apply because I just know that there'll be a lot of roadblocks and most of PNP MP, no man. So we can't do it for roadblocks. So I just
hold
sit down
on.
and hold my tension.
You know of any sound man who got assistance during the COVID period?
No, I don't know of any. No, nobody told me that they got. Not too. But one thing I know, I was told that a lot of sessions were still keeping, and I was warned by the police because BSRDC is a very big name all around the world, not just Jamaica.
Yeah, man,
And I
international
was
sound.
told by the police, say, watch you know. You see them other little man want to go out and still a sneak and keep them session there. BSRDC can't do it, Because if we ever hear see a BSRDC dance down there, so we have to lock it off. So you not try push out your head at all. The little man them want to be adventurous and take advantage of the situation. You not try follow them. And I took their word for it, so we never went out and played.
So for almost 3 years, BSRDC, world-renowned BSRDC, and we're talking to the owner, people of BSRDC, Keith Walford out of Senton, right? Never earn a dollar and never got anything from the government. You never get, nobody never come to you because people were sent out to people. Nobody never come to you during the COVID and said the government would want to assist.
No, sir. Nobody came to us and said, "Boy, how you make out? How you keeping alive?"
And not even just you, your boxmen, your selectors, them never get nothing.
No, what we did the best we could to keep them alive and keep them. Because we know the situation not is happening, so it really stresses us out. So we do the best we could for assist in whatever way we could to we workers who were out of a job. But as far as from government or any entity at all, no, we didn't get anything. Nothing at all.
What would you like to see from future government as policy directive to sound systems in Jamaica?
Well, firstly, I think sound system owners need to come together and speak as one voice. That is the first thing. I think but there's no division in every business. I don't know why, and I hate to sound anywhere. I don't want people to misinterpret what I'm saying. But I don't know why we black people or we people find it so hard to come together. All of us in the same business. Let us come together as a group and we let people who we think can represent us and speak as one voice. And I think that one voice will throw a lot of weight to whichever government is in power.
Yes.
And then we could put our ideas to them. And of course, we respect the Nice Amendment Act and know that everybody has a choice, But at the same time, we have to live as well. So we'd love to hear one voice speaking. And I think we'd have a very good chance of getting things done if we speak as one voice.
Definitely. What is going on with BSRDC right now, Keith?
Well, we give thanks, We are very booked. Very booked. I don't know if I can use it. Today we are in Haywood in Linstead and Runaway Bay Center and some selectors. We're an Irish for them birthday thing last night. So we give thanks. We are very, very booked, but we put in the work. There's a lot of years of putting in the work and sometimes feel like giving up and still fight on with it.
And if in the 10% of those sound system in Jamaica who may be making a profit, BSRDC would be in that 10%.
Well, I just as I say, it's a hand to mouth.
Yes.
Where the thing makes a little money for you is if you get international recognition and you do tours. That is where you get a little bit. But as far as Jamaica is concerned, we play the hand to mouth thing, but we have to keep, because if you're not doing good in Jamaica, you're not doing good anywhere in the world, So you have to be doing good in Jamaica to get the recognition.
Yes.
So it's all about keeping that level of consistency and keeping your crowds happy and keep the demand out there for you. And then you're gaining international recognition, which is when you see a little bit of tip and start coming in,
Yeah.
But if not for that, I really wonder how it is done, because everybody is buying all of these new equipments because they want their system to sound good. And you can't blame them, man. Everybody wants the system to sound better than the next man's system.
Of course. Quality.
So you have to be putting in all of this hard work to make certain that you keep on top, you maintain a certain level. Because we have to admit, a lot of people come into the sound system thing not because of the love of it, but for other reasons,
Yes.
You might have a little money and them don't know where to put it, so them say, right, you don't have to buy 10 taxi and doing a sound.
I make a sound, yeah.
So there's all sorts and all types of us in the business, but those of us who in it, who definitely depend on it for our living, who have a structure budget to say, all right, how much selectors to get, how much maintenance to get, what it costs to go there, so what I can charge your man to play. Some people don't look at it that way. So it's all sorts, but we give thanks that we are there and we are maintaining that thing and keeping the name up there.
Wonderful. Keith Walcott, base of this. Thanks for the interview this morning, my brother.
Yes, Colin.
We'll talk again. One love.
One love.
Yeah, man. Talking about the creative industry, the culture and the creative industry, the sound system culture in Jamaica is one of the things that has kept the music.
And Dayton says we.
Hold on, not you. Where you come from, this one? Yeah. One of the things that keeps the culture going. And we want governments to understand that a man's sound is an investment. It is a business. They employ people and pay them better. Maybe the boxman, they might get minimum wage. Maybe. Some sound pay more than that. But we have to understand that it is a business. You heard Father Keith say, there are times when people take a year for plan them party. And that's why if you are involved in the entertainment business, there is only one choice in the upcoming election. It is the People's National Party. This Andrew Holness-led administration does not care about entertainment. They don't care about the culture and the creative industry, except when they need a dub plate for election. They used and abused us. The police felt empowered to kick down the man thing because of the scant regard that is paid to sound men in Jamaica. I don't hear the apology yet. I heard a high-ranking police officer came out and said that's not the way that the police behave and the police don't endorse it. But I never hear them say we want to apologize to the owner of those equipment. And I am certainly hoping that the owner is taking the necessary action to get compensation for his equipment. Under the next PNP administration, entertainment industry, the culture and the creative industry will be a critical part of what we are going to do to grow the economy. It is one of the planks that we are going to be using to grow the economy. So sound system operators, selectors, DJs, boxmen, wiremen, technicians, you are going to be a part of it. As I said earlier this week on this platform, that we are going to be building out the movies and the documentaries about the sound system. We are going to be building out movies around parties. And some people say don't give them too much ideas. But when we put it here, it is recorded. This is the digital age. Analog politician time done. Time come for digital concept, digital politician who can pick up signal, who understand the algorithms. Because money, serious money, can be made from the culture and the creative industry. I tell you all the while, the intention is to get to 30 billion US dollars annually coming into this country from the culture and the creative industry. Jamaica culture is craved around the world. Anywhere around the world, you go and see sound system string up a play. It is Jamaica's culture. Anywhere around the world, you go and see people at DJ like dancehall. It is Jamaica's culture. Anywhere around the world, you go and see reggae music. It is Jamaica's culture. It is craved around the world, and big money's been making off it right now. We need to make our share, and that's why we need an administration with that kind of vision, with the knowledge of how to monetize our entertainment industry, how to monetize culture. And we have the know-how. We are going to do it. We are at 17 minutes up to 11 o'clock. We are ready to take your calls. 876-804-7072. Yeah, man. We were talking to Ed Boy earlier, and that is a discussion that we're going to continue about Prime Minister Andrew Holness and how his statutory filing is going. The Prime Ministers have been sent to the FID for them to investigate his transaction, his business actions, and the fact that he has not been certified by the Integrity Commission. He tried in the Supreme Court to struck out some of the things that is in Craig Beresford affidavit, and the court said no, we're not going to strike it out. They have given him the permission to get some of the documents that the Integrity Commission was holding back. But we said to the Prime Minister, going into this election, you have not been certified. And to become the Prime Minister, sir, you need certification. You don't have the certification. We don't believe that you should be called Prime Minister of Jamaica for another term, being uncertified. It is serious time. Jamaica's reputation is at stake. And we can't allow the good name of Jamaica to be drawn in the mud by you, sir. Prime ministers are to be held at an higher standard. Don White is saying the owner may be fearful to take action because the police even coming and saying what they said. They can't stop police from taking set on him. Well, if because of fear, Auntie Dawn, you allow a man to destroy your equipment and you sit down and not do nothing, then me just sorry for the next sound man. Because if no action is taken, and we all bow to fear, then anything can happen. So Bob Marley said the way earthly things are going, anything can happen. We have to stand up for our rights. The Prime Minister said he have a right to take the Integrity Commission to court. Let me call you from the next phone, because I said this phone is never connected to the system. Let me call you from the next phone. The Prime Minister said he have a right to take the Integrity Commission to court. And so he does. And he's taking the Integrity Commission to court. Why the average Jamaican is afraid to take the government to court? And I heard the MP for East Portland telling the world that I have taken the government to court. Yes, I have. But she never tell the world, say the government carry me to court too. But we're not frightened for people. Obi,
Hi, Colin. How are you?
walk on, my brother.
Yeah, good morning to you and your listeners. I'm fine, thanks, man. Just to say something quickly on what you just said. The good thing is that we are still operating in a country that has a proud judiciary. And indeed, we all are privy to access the court of law. And that is why the Prime Minister himself, as untidy as it looks, he still have the right so to do. He still has the right so to do.
Yes.
And everybody, including that person whose tool of trade was destroyed by the police, because that's indeed what it is. It's tool of trade. That's how the person makes a living. As a matter of fact, what you see now, a lot of young men, Colin, and women even, they are driving a car that, let's say the body of that car, you could get that car for, say, $1 million for argument's sake.
Yeah.
The sound system in those motor vehicles sometimes value upward of $3-4 million.
Yes, sir.
Based on the investment that they put into it, because it's the go-to preferred choice these days to be playing at the drink out, the breakfast parties, etc., etc.
Yes.
I myself attended upon a few of them and quite enjoyed. As a matter of fact, even church functions these days are engaging these entrepreneur, as I like to call them.
But Obi,
Mhm.
every
Yes, sir.
political meeting have a sound system there.
There you go. And Colin, as you mentioned that every political party has a sound system there. Sometimes people have to understand what they have, and persons must leverage whatever they have to their advantage. Sound system, you're in demand to play at political meeting. Taxi operators and bus operators, you're in demand to take people to political rallies and to be runners and so on at election time. With how the Labour Party treat you all, maybe time come for you to basically protest against them by striking them and say, listen, we're not going to play on a session, and we're not going to carry out on our work on our people election day. And we're not going to carry out.
I think it was either Tuesday evening or Wednesday evening, one of those evenings on my program. I said to the sound men in Jamaica, I said, if an apology doesn't come from the police and the government, because I think Babsy needs to, as the minister in charge, need to take it upon herself and apologize to this person. I said, if an apology does not come, the sound system people in Jamaica should not do any government function either on the 1st or on the 6th. It came at an opportune time for you to send a signal to the government. I just spoke with Father Keith from BSADC, and he said in COVID...
man, I heard my good friend and brother Keith Walford. I heard
in
him.
COVID,
man, yeah?
they got nothing and no sound man that I know, because I keep saying it. How come the government not giving sound system operators, selectors, and their boxmen anything during the COVID period? Nothing was made out for them.
Colin, again, as you have been saying, ad nauseum, is that the government of the day doesn't recognize these people. They don't recognize them, and they don't see them as business people, right? And maybe the time has come now for them to basically flex their muscles as business people. And I'm going to continue to add the taxi operator and bus operator as a part of this, part of the layer within the discussion, Colin, because Jamaica has become a very docile society. And certainly they are part of the Jamaican society that has become docile. And they must understand the power that they will. Your transportation sector is a very, very important player within your economy. What it relates to GDP growth, taking your people to work and so on. So all of those things, Colin, they have to recognize where they are.
The transportation sector has been holding up this economy for a long time, You remember when the government promised them 35%, gave them 19, and tell them they were going to give them the other 16. They can't give it to them because the economy is in such a bad shape, and it's the taxi men who are holding the strain to keep this economy alive.
Absolutely, and there's another layer to that. Ordinarily, you see, if the government had more time, they would basically give the taxi operator that difference that they owe them, right? In terms of giving the additional increase on the taxi fare. But it is coming to election now. So they're not going to go out there and give them, because they believe that giving the taxi operators that additional increase at this time would be something that would play so heavily on the population, because again, the economy is in tatters, and the $16,000 that people are earning today as minimum wage, what $6,000 could purchase in 2016, it cannot purchase it now. Colin, those are the hard, cool facts that basically our people are facing, And no amount of persons who would want to say, boy, there goes Conrad O'Brien, he is a PNP activist and so on, and he's on radio. I care zero, because I speak truth to power. As I keep on saying, sorry, Colin.
Hold on, because there's a discussion in the chat room about why drivers can't concentrate because they have big sound in them car. The sound system where Obi are talk about can't hold on a taxi. The sound system where Obi are talk about for millions. The back seat in them the car is not existent. Them take out the back seat. The sound making it fitting the speakers. So don't get it twisted. The cars with the $1 million sound no run taxi, because them the man not even want nobody go near them the equipment there. So you're getting it twisted. We're not talking about the little speaker in the trunk. We are talking about the whole back of the car is a sound. Sometimes all the passenger seat in the front a sound. You're getting it twisted, Millicent.
Absolutely.
Oh,
Colin.
militant.
In addition to that,
militant, bro, you're getting it twisted.
Let's just remind whatever Brown the person name or whatever.
Militant, bro. Militant brother.
Militant brother. Well, let me just say to you, militant brother, you're not so militant at all, because certainly you don't know what is happening around you. Because also, let us remind militant that for taxi or bus operator, they'll be playing sound system in their vehicle at a certain decibel or so on. That is illegal. So you would have to call on the transport authority and also the police to deal with that. But that's certainly not what we're talking about, as Colin has so eloquently explained just now. So, I mean, Colin, you see, we hate to use these words, but sometimes people allow you to use certain things to say, because this person just display a level of dunceness that is almost second to none.
No, man, it's just misunderstand. Them don't understand. Let's not
call
him.
Fine. Thanks. Good. I concur.
Let's call him misunderstand.
I withdraw that, because certainly it's not an argument that I like. As a matter of fact, I don't even like the pitching of Bright against dunce people or something, because we're all one people.
Definitely.
So I don't even like that argument. But Colin, I want. Sorry. Before you move on, Colin, I just want to say quickly. I was trying to text you something while Senator was on, Senator Crawford, because as you know, Colin, I and of course yourself weighed in on the argument. I've been talking about this zoning of schools, that you'll be able to get a better throughput, because what you would have a more even distribution of the talent pool in terms of the various passes being distributed evenly among the schools. Also, this would basically help to alleviate the transportation issue in a very, very big way. It would also, Colin, ironically, it would even assist in terms of the of our children being given nutritious meal, because maybe you have students who schools, high schools, are so very close to their home that they could basically walk out of the school literally and in 2 minutes go to their home and get a meal. So their parents would not have to find money to basically give them to go to school, even though we understand the PNP policy that will be given each child in the all I'm dating myself saying all age, the primary and also the secondary schools, they will be fed there, Colin. So I wanted to ask Senator on that, and just add to the clip that you played just now, Colin, earlier, with your proposal about the Portland institution being named Agriculture University. It goes even further than that, Colin. I think if we go back in the PNP manifesto of 2020, it was basically there where Case is supposed to transform into a university. But you have basically added the layer, I think, there for it to be named the Agricultural University or something like that. But I think it's in the
University
manifesto
of Agricultural Science.
Yes, I think it's actually in the manifesto way back from 2020. And, you know, ironically, Damon Crawford was the chairperson for that manifesto committee. I think he had a very, very significant role that was played in that manifesto, Colin. And I know the PNP has not put out its manifesto fully yet, but there was something also in that manifesto in 2020. I think the PNP should bring it back, where they said that there will be a specific amount of money, a dedicated fund that will be spent in communities such as schemes and so on. Because what we find out, Colin, is that some of the road or the infrastructure inside the housing scheme, the housing development, boy, Colin, may I tell you, it's coming like a donkey truck here walk on. Trust me.
Obi, there was an effort to get the NHT to sort out the roads in the NHT schemes. I think that effort started under the Portia Simpson administration. 2 of the schemes were addressed in Portland. The Anchovy housing scheme was addressed, the fellowship housing scheme, but we have one more, which is the Fairy housing scheme, which is terrible. So I don't know if the ball was dropped after. So yes, I agree that should come back. But before we go, Obi, I don't know if you get your copy of the achievement book. I want my copy. I haven't gotten one yet, but I want it. I need it. I want to see it. I don't know if you have seen it.
I haven't gotten the hard copy, but I've seen quite a bit in terms of the soft copy of it.
So what is in there that is not? Have you seen anything in there that is not theirs? I heard that they are claiming the Integrity Commission.
Yes, that's there. But I must tell you, I will not be able to. I will not.
Hold on, Obi. You're saying the Integrity Commission is there as one of their achievement?
No, that's my understanding. I must say, Colin, although the soft copy was sent to my phone, because you know I have to give you correct information. Right. So, although the soft copy was sent to my phone, what I can tell you that I saw on the soft copy, I saw the wrong spelling of Jamaica.
Well, everybody see that, and
I saw that because that jumped out, but I have not delved into the body of the report to see what's happened. But as you mentioned that with Integrity Commission, Colin, it's something that they can't claim. They can claim the actual put it in place. But in terms of the work that was done, the legislation that was drawn for it, and so that's Mark Golden and the PNP that did that, and so on. Because of course you know that we moved from the auditor, the accountant general.
The contractor general.
The contractor general to this, all right? to the IC. So certainly they can't claim that. But I would not be surprised, Colin, if there are many things in there that had started by the PNP that they claim. Because even the highway.
That is why I want to see it, because I want to be able to say to my listeners and viewers, this enough of them, this enough of them, this enough of them, because I am sure that they have some achievements that they have left out. You understand?
Yeah, man.
An achievement like the biggest overrun in the history of Jamaica on Cornwall Regional. Yes. I am betting you that they left that out. I am betting you that they leave out the first prime minister to be investigated for illicit enrichment. I am betting you that they leave that out. So there are some...
Absolutely. And under the first time in Jamaica that corruption continued to come up in all survey as number 2 on the radar. So all of those are seminal achievement by the Jamaica Labour Party.
Obi, we're going to run because we have a tight Saturday this Saturday morning. Big up yourself, my brother. Thanks for the link.
Listen, Colin, just before you go, Colin, your listeners and viewers, stay tuned, because for a couple of days you may be hearing Colin Bell elsewhere. I'm sure we will share that information
when the
at an opportune time, Colin.
Blessings, my brother. One love. Thank you very much, Obi. Big up, big up. Conrad O'Brien, the fireman from Newstalk 93 FM, weighing in this morning. You know, somebody's asking me, why do I want that rubbish? Let me tell you something. When you're in this kind of field, you want to see everything. Yeah? I am a member of the PNP, but it's not a PNP channel I'm running. But I am a member of the PNP and I host the channel. But I give equal opportunity. I will give equal opportunity to any Labourite who want to speak on my platform once they are respectful and truthful. Truth is a criteria to speak on this platform. Morning, caller, go ahead.
Colin.
Yes, sir.
Morning.
Morning and welcome.
All right. You know that some taximan do 2 business with their car. Some of them have the same sound system in their car that they use to play at parties after they're done, finish with the road and all of those stuff.
But when them all do that, them put on the one them on the top and put the one them in the window. So when them all run taxi, they have them day night.
Right. And then they go and play at some party and all of those stuff. So, you know, nothing wrong with that. You have some taximan who really indisciplined in that aspect, yes, but it's not all of them.
All right.
So, you know.
Yeah, man. It's a mix.
Yeah.
It's a mix. But
it's a mix.
But the people them like what Obi talk about now, where the sound costs more than the car, them no use them the car, they run taxi, brother.
No, sir. No.
Yeah, man. You have a bridge in a Port Antonio named Less 5000. It's a Alfarad.
Yeah.
You know, the Toyota Alfarad.
Yes, man.
And that the man have him sound in, you know, brother.
Yes, man, for real.
Nobody can go run at the back, you know. The only driving space in that vehicle is the 2 front seat, the driver seat and that passenger seat. The entire back of the Alfarad is a sound system, you know.
I know.
Yes, man.
Yeah, man, for real, man. So, you know, just like that. So, it's easy if you don't. So, I have to just work with the system and, you know.
Yeah, man. All right, my brother. No respect. Yeah, man. So, yeah, I want to see the book because I know they're going to put the Marant Bay Urban Center in the book as a part of them achievement. I know they're going to put the road from Harborview to St. Thomas in the book. So me want to see it so me can understand, because me know they cannot be totally truthful. Them not have that capacity. I want you to listen to our next clip. I want to play that clip here for what it's worth before I go. And I go in. But I want to play this clip here. The people don't listen to this. Up with the volume, Shaka.
Moravian, Brethren, Christian and Palestine, Roman Catholic, revilers, Kumina, Ethiopian Orthodox Church. There is no Moravian, Brethren, Christian and Palestine, Roman Catholic, revilers, Revivalists, Kumina, Ethiopian, Moravian, Brethren, Christian and Palestine, Roman Catholic, Revivalists, Kumina, Ethiopian.
The Water Commission Amnesty, which had a special carve out for our seniors, as well as, of course, the I can't read my writing, and I seem to be having a brain fog moment. But the increase of the threshold.
May the good Lord continue to bless and keep you. Make his face shine upon you and be gracious unto you. The Lord lift up his light and give you his peace. We are going to be on Tuesday evening and Wednesday evening right here on Portland Spice TV. If you have not yet subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. Share it with somebody so people can hear it, because crunch time, you're going to get more big shows like this morning. We had Head Boy talking about the Craig Beresford affidavit. We have Senator Damian Crawford, opposition spokesman on education. And of course, you heard Father Keith Walford from Basadisi talking about it. Share this with everybody. Make certain them see it. Yeah, man. Very important program this morning. I told you that there's something about Caribbean Radio. Caribbean Radio has acquired an FM signal in Florida. Now, if you see those circles, it is the areas that will be covered by Caribbean Radio HD on FM dial. Massive parts of Florida will now be covered by Caribbean Radio on FM. So by Tuesday, we'll be able to tell you the frequencies that you can get Caribbean Radio HD on. Big up yourself, bro Gary. More power, my brother. One love. Until we meet again next Tuesday, stay safe. Happy Emancipendent, everybody. One love. Out.